Seems eminently sensible to get rid of a piece of redundant legislation. Right. Do people have any questions that they want to ask of Judith? Andrew?
I don't know whether this is a question for Judith. It's more of a process question. I'm not aware of this having come through the submissions panel. Is that the case, or did I miss that somewhere?
No, it hasn't come to the submissions panel. I think the delegation for the submissions panel says that things go to the panel if there's not time to go to the council, although it was a bit of a squeeze to get this into the council system. We considered there was enough time to get it to the council before the submissions are due date. If there's any changes or matters that the council want addressed, I guess, in the submissional changes, then my suggestion is that the council refer those from today to the submissions panel to sign off a final submission. But that's why it didn't go to the submissions panel.
Yeah, great. Now, thanks for that clarification.
So do people want to... Oh, Yanni.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, things are still supposed to go to the submissions panel, but then they're supposed to be reported back to council.
No, Yanni, that isn't correct. That isn't what the delegation says. Well, but leaving all that aside, if we want to change the delegation, then that's fine.
So just one question I had, which you've talked about a number of things around proposals to sparkle and portable poles, just on 137. Just wondered whether we've gone far enough in terms of actually requirements on the retailers. I personally wondered whether we should have a requirement that they have to actually register the address of the spa or the swimming pool. Was that asked for?
Page one, yeah, are you looking at page 137?
Yeah, I am.
That's the submission from 2013.
Right.
The submission, the proposed submission that you're signing off on today is pages 147 to 16. Okay. I've got 155, but it must be 165. Oh, 147 to 155, yes, that's right.
Yeah. So just, is there anything in here that just would require the retailer to actually, or someone selling second hand, to have it registered, so that, I don't know how we currently work out who's got a swimming pool, but you know, it does, maybe we take aerial photos, but it does seem to me that it would make it a lot easier for us to have an ongoing system of
the last bullet point on 147.
The amendments to the bill don't make any requirements in relation to second-hand sales of pools. Given that spa pools, I mean, the council is not going to have to inspect spa pools or hot tubs or portable pools. The second-hand sale of those pools perhaps is a gap. If the council wants to add a submission.
But if we don't have to inspect them, why do we want to register them? Why do we want any notification? If we don't inspect them, I mean, this seems to me to be a sensible.
So a number, I've sat on a number of these, and so often there's issues around building consent being approved, but it not complying with the Swimming Pool Act. So it's
yes,
also
but this is getting rid of the Swimming Pools Act, so it's all done under the Building Act. This makes sense to me.
And the building consents are not going to be needed for barriers for spa pools or hot tubs.
You know, I understand that, but if so put the spa pools.
You can't sell your swimming pool.
Yeah, no, you can't. But if you had a swimming pool that was installed, is there any requirement for the TAA, the local authority, TOA, to be notified? Because sometimes what happens is they put the pool in later after they've got the certificate of compliance, and then we've gone back and found all sorts of non-compliance.
Yeah, so if anybody wants to build a residential pool that is, or install a residential pool that is,
they'll have to get a building consent.
They will have to get a building consent for the barriers.
Right.
And tell me, do we want to appear in person to support the submission or not?
I think we should. I think there are really key points in this that need to be impressed upon the panel, actually.
Yep.
Are you volunteering? Yeah, I'm happy to do it.
Yep. All right.
Okay.
So that would be, people are generally happy that we appear in support and that we appoint Ali to do that.
I've set on the, with regards to the hearings, with regards to the approvals of the most of the
Well, it may be in Wellington, so whether we send 2 people up or whether we just...
Only if she wears her togs.
No, she doesn't have to demonstrate, but she'll have Judith with her anyway. So yeah, Ali.
I just wanted to make a point procedurally because this is really important and I don't understand why it's causing some concern. On or around the 21st of October, Judith forwarded all of the information to me. That was the drafted bill, the digest and the previous information relating to this. It was forwarded to you all with the express instruction that had you any changes or concerns, you were to get back to me by the end of business the following Thursday to give staff enough time to make changes, so we didn't have this discussion today essentially. Okay, so if you didn't get that email, if you don't understand the process, can you tell me and I'll alter it slightly?
It's all good.
Look,
it's
I'm
all
really
good.
happy with
I think
it.
there's just
go. It's good.
one person. Dave.
Look, I'm just quite happy to support this, and having chaired a submissions panel on spa pools, we heard something like 93, well, we didn't actually hear it, we went through 93 pool certification, spa pool certifications. They were all very mundane. All the pools had lockable lids on them, and it was really just quite a inappropriate use of staff time to have to go through all that process. And this amendment, this bill would change all that. We wouldn't have to be going down that track and certifying a lot of pools that, spa pools particularly, that already comply. And I think noting in the submission, one part was quite clear. There was to be a clear directive to retailers of spa pools to actually make sure that their obligations are well known, and supplying them with lockable lids to their spa pools and all of this sort of stuff. So our staff have spent an inordinate amount of time on these issues, which this amendment will save them huge time.
Just a question following on from that. Does anyone know if when you buy a spa pool now, they all have lockable lids? Is that compulsory? Because it seems to me...
Retailers are obliged to identify the local rules and regulations and compliance requirements.
It seems to me that would be a logical way to go, to actually have a lockable lids obligatory on spa pools if we're not going to inspect them.
Don't quote me on that.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, well, it would make sense.
Can I just clarify then, in our submission, are we talking about, when we talk about spa pool covers, is that what we mean?
Yeah.
That they're lockable?
Yeah.
So do you know, Judith?
I don't know if there's a requirement on manufacturers to sell them with lockable lids, but like Jamie, I don't know that anybody wouldn't sell it with
would
a
it
lockable
be,
lid.
if it's not obligatory, would it be in our scope as a council to require that in order to alleviate us from inspecting them?
No, because at the moment the requirement, even a lockable spa pool lid, doesn't meet the requirements of the Fencing of Swimming Pools Act. You have to seek an exemption from the Act if you've got a lockable lid. So the requirement from the council's perspective is if you have a spa pool, it should have a fence around it.
Yeah, but after this goes through.
Oh, after this goes through, there's no, and basically councils won't have, and provided it is a lockable lid.
Yeah, that's where I'm coming from. So we're using the
them.
lockable lid to build into this, but there's no obligation to have a lockable lid.
But then they need a building consent.
Then they'll need a building
consent. So everyone's going to have a lockable lid, you know. And if they don't, they'll need a building consent.
Yeah. Or they'll have to have another barrier, like a fence as usual.
So it's going to take some really clear messaging to get this out to people? Because
well,
to
no,
me,
it's only a bill.
Yeah.
We're making a submission on a bill. The government will consider the bill, and when the bill is completed, then obviously we'll be wanting to be part of a nationwide education campaign around
it's
it.
not intended that the bill
No.
comes into force until the 1st of January 2017, so
There's plenty of time.
Yeah.
Right. Thank
So
you.
what we should do is, because we should ask to be heard, we don't necessarily need to be heard in person unless they're travelling the country, so we could ask them if they're coming down to Christchurch, but otherwise we could just do a video or a oral. Yeah, audio.
That'd be good,
Yeah. All right, which means that others could actually attend as well, so... All right, so Ali, you'd like to move that, and I think Tim would like to second it, and I'll put that motion. All those in favour say aye. Those opposed say no. That's carried. And now we move to the hearing.